We talk about wrestling.
Charlotte beat me. I put you in a neck brace before. I have no problem doing it again.
You haven't seen it, honey. I was.
Oh, bitch! No, the fuck y'all did So much balls. There's too much balls on that ref. Too many red balls. Look at all these balls. Look at this. Damn! Oh, Jesus! We are witnessing child abuse on TV, Lord. Oh, have mercy. Now, watch your mouth when you talking to me, ho. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. You ain't getting nothing. You don't get nothing. You either earn it or you don't. You pasty bitch. That ain't how this works. Uh-oh. Hit it with a zigzag. Let's go, baby. Let's go, dog. Let's go. I'm fucks with it. We sick of your shit.
Hey, girl, hey. Life, relationships, pop culture.
Well, go ahead. I'm listening. And he'll be looking at me. He will be looking at me and he will go to sleep. He will go to sleep. Look at me in my face. I'm talking to you.
We talk about it all, baby. So, y'all ready? I know y'all ready. Because it's showtime. And that's on the ancestors, baby.
Hello. I hope y'all can hear me. I had to break out my iMac here so I can talk and do everything, okay? Maybe can you turn it down just a little bit so it don't catch in the microphone. We got a bigger computer here and it will catch. All right, so Kenny's here. Hello. Big screen in today while I eat this Lunchable in my sickness glory. Oh, Lord. Hello, Kenny. Hello, Nika. Hello, Aaliyah. Hello, Jonelle. All right. So NXT is over. And for me, it was a lot of background noise. But we got to see some things. We got to set up some things for the next couple of babe. We got to see some things. We got to set up a couple of things for the next couple of weeks. And on top of that, we also saw something that we didn't need to see. So this week, we had a couple of matches. So last week, R-Truth was challenged and Grayson Waller was challenged by R-Truth and Grayson Waller accepted. So Grayson Waller was going up against R-Truth. R-Truth did he tried to dive, but it was actually not a dive. He tried to flip out of the ring onto Grayson Waller, but he ended up hitting the floor. Literally hitting the floor. Now, I'm not sure if that was a spot or if it was a legitimate injury. Either way, he's injured and he could no longer compete in the match. So Grayson Waller was deemed the victor by default. Okay. Now, and he took it upon himself, which I really didn't like. I don't give a shit if he's in character or not. I didn't like it. He took it upon himself to keep doing backflips and, jumping and, moving and doing weird shit in the ring while they was trying to get R-Truth out of there. He also, took it upon himself to do other weird shit, like proclaim himself to be one of the most dominant, if not the most dominant wrestler in NXT history. Just weird ass one-off shit that even he has to say is a bunch of bullshit. He's just a fucking weirdo. And I don't like Grayson Waller, and I'm hoping that this was simply just an injury that was feigned in the ring, because the way R-Truth fell, it would stand to reason that the injury would be to his tailbone and not necessarily to his knee. Really? But because he hit all mats. The only thing he hit on Grayson Waller was his head, and that was with his leg, which is where the injury could have occurred if said injury was real. Either way, he is out. Grayson Waller took it as a win because R-Truth is a 20-year veteran, and he feels like, I just beat him. I just proved I'm the greatest. Stop doing it, man. You just didn't. You proved that you're a little weasel of a wrestler, and nobody gives a shit about your little dry-lipped ass. And I'm at the point now where Grayson Waller has got to get some ass whooping that actually matters. What Apollo Crews did to him at Halloween Havoc meant nothing. It does nothing, therefore it means nothing. As far as I'm concerned, as long as Grayson Waller is allowed to continue to walk around with this type of bravado and say the stupidest shit that he does, then I need him to get some comeuppance. I need him to get his ass whooped. The same sentiments I have for Rhea Ripley, it's the same sentiments I have for him. But he just gets on my goddamn nerves. I need him to get his ass whooped. That is it. I just need him to get toe up. Let me get some of y'all comments in here. Kenny says, I hope Truth is okay. Grayson had that impromptu promo and ain't say much of anything. He said he definitely could have made sure Truth was okay at least. I hope he did just that in the bed. He did that in the back. Hi, Tirza.
Pretty much.
Hello, Aaliyah. Tirza said, oh, Lord, what did the yeast infection looking ass bitch do now? But there was a match between him and Truth. And Truth seemingly got injured. I want to say that it's a kayfabe injury, and he's playing into the character, which I totally understand. But he was in the ring doing push-ups, kicking his legs and shit, doing dumb shit in the ring, and then proclaimed himself to be the most dominant wrestler in NXT, in all of WWE, actually. And said that nobody could touch him. He just beat a 21-year veteran in the game, and he's on the top of the mountain. He's always been on the top of the mountain. Stupid, stupid, stupid shit. I just need him to get knocked down a lot of pegs, to the floor, to hell even. Just knock his ass out. Weird shit while Truth was getting checked by the officials. Yeah, it was just not right. I get that he's a heel or whatever, and I'm not shading him for doing his job. What I'm saying is it just didn't look right. It looked weird. Okay? Odyssey Jones had his re-debut, okay? Odyssey had an injury that he suffered well over almost a year ago. It was about 10 months ago. Odyssey's been gone for quite some time. I loved Odyssey when he was there, so I was glad to see him return to NXT, okay? He had a match with Big Body Javi, and he put him away easily, okay? At least that's what I assumed, because I had to go to the bathroom when Odyssey was on TV. Did he win? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. I assumed he put him away big easily. But he did. All right. So, Crunchy Water Lettuce was on TV today, and they decided to recap only the wins that mattered, I guess. Only the wins that she dominated, and they only he ain't missed a step, period. He decided he wanted to recap all of her wins and all of her accomplishments. And I was like, well, oh my God. The only accomplishment she's had is she's been NXT Women's Champion for 300 plus days. Was it 371 days now? Mm-hmm. Now, she had this her celebration was bullshit, because it looked like somebody took their couches from their living room and put them in the ring and then threw some sheets over it. And they put pictures of her in the last 3 championship wins that she has had, including this last one at Halloween Havoc against Alba Fire. They put all of that in the ring for everybody to see. And then they had these cheap-ass dudes standing there holding this ass water they call champagne. And they was having a conversation, basically giving Mandy all these accolades. I had the TV on mute because I was not about to sit here for no 5 to 6 minutes listening to JC and Gigi blow smoke up her ass, okay? Because it's hot air. Alba Fire came in there and destroyed all that shit. She whooped the and she proclaimed herself to be the greatest NXT women's champion of all time. Here's the thing. You the one who got to step your weight up because you about 300 plus days behind Asuka and Alba Fire. Alba Fire is still one of the greatest champions in WWE history. 600 and what, 80? I want to say plus days as champion. You don't even come close, ma'am. So you might have been champion for a year. Congratulations. But you got a long way to go before you can even be considered one of the greatest champions of all time. Okay? Because, ma'am, you don't even hit Asuka's record, and Asuka had 2 years. You're not even close. But you keep living your best life. You know, tell yourself every day that you're the greatest. Because somebody got to. Right? Somebody got to, babe. Anyways, Mandy got caught up by Alba and she beat up all her little cronies and the security. And then she took Gigi and laid her ass out in the ring, put her right through a damn table. She told Mandy to her face, she said, you keep trying to duck and dodge me, and I'm going to make it so that everybody that's around you is gone. I took out Gigi, and JC's going to be next week. And in 2 weeks, I'm taking that championship from you. And then she walked her ass up out of there. While Gigi was laid out prostrate before the Lord in front of that little baby was in that damn table, okay? She was in it, not Mervyn. Okay? She was in that table, honey. Child, that I was like, I don't care until you beat this bitch. I don't care what y'all do. I suspect in 2 weeks, Mandy will be dropping that championship and more than likely will be moving up to the main roster, probably via the Royal Rumble, which I don't have a problem with. Do whatever you're gonna do with her. So that happened. Brian opened up the show. And here's where it got weird. So I'm going to put y'all comments in. Then I'll let you know how it got weird. Kenny said, can I just say, no shade to Alba, but she should have had that title. I don't want to see her and Mandy again. I would have had Gigi or JC or hell Sonya to attack Manda Horlian. Well, I told y'all why Alba didn't get the championship early on in her first NXT days. And I also explained why she didn't get it at Halloween Havoc. Mandy was a few weeks out from being at 1 year. It didn't make sense to just rip the title off of her after a few weeks. And she only had like a day or so. She had like, after Halloween Havoc, it was that Wednesday coming up would make a full year for her as being champion. It just, to me, it was like, okay, give the bitch the 3 days. Whatever. I'd have had her drop it the day that her year hit. That's the day I would have had her drop it. But Alba Fire deserves that title just as much as anybody. I don't care. Now, I do think they shouldn't have had her going up against Mandy so many times to make it look like Mandy was unbeatable against her. I do think that. But all in all, I think it'll pay off in the end, having Alba as champ. And we haven't had a female face champion in a while. More than likely, she's going to be your face champion for a little bit, and then they're going to decide who's going to be the face champion or the heel champion for NXT in terms of the men, because Braun Breaker's been a face champion for quite some time, and it's about time to switch up the tempo. All right, let's go to the next one. Hello, my day was good. Thank you for asking. Oh, that sounds like the regular Toxic Lounge. The only thing missing is a drooling Wade. No, they didn't take the place of well, yeah, Wade wasn't there. He's on SmackDown, but yeah, I get what you mean. Fuck that cheap ass title reign, okay? Tish said Mandy is fucking and sucking and gagging several motherfuckers in the back for her mediocre non-wrestling ass to have had this title for this long. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I can't. Truth saved that segment because I was watching it like, aha, yeah. Child. I never disagreed with that statement, Tirza. In this segment, Brian started off the show, which, to be honest with you, Mandy should have started off the show with her segment instead of having him start off the show. This segment was odd. It was an odd segment with weird placement. I felt like they didn't have to have Wesley going up against Pretty Deadly with Braun Breaker in order for them to have Carmelo Hayes intervene and cost them the match. Quite frankly, Pretty Deadly shouldn't have been defending the title against the two of them. They both hold titles in NXT. And while I love Wesley and I really do like Braun Breaker, I don't want to see them as NXT Tag Team Champions. What they should have done, I think Gallus is still on suspension as of right now. I don't know what's going on with Gallus exactly or what happened, but hopefully they'll be back soon. What they should have done is had one of the other tag teams that was trying to get the titles intervene and be a part of, and, start the next cycle of Pretty Deadly possibly defending their titles at Deadline against this said tag team. But they didn't do that. So they had Wesley and Braun Breaker out there talking. Braun Breaker basically was big up in Wesley for becoming the North American champion. He was like proud of that. Good for you. And he like, I'm retaining. I'm waiting to see who my next opponent is going to be. And then Pretty Deadly came out there and was like, we don't want to hear you bitching and we don't want to hear you bitching and complaining about being champion. We don't care about none of that. The spotlight needs to be on Pretty Deadly. That's essentially what the conversation was about. Wesley came out to aid Braun Breaker, to which they basically challenged Pretty Deadly to a championship match. Now, at the end of the show, said match happened. It was a pretty decent match. They did all right. And as a tag team, Wesley and Braun Breaker worked well with each other. However, like I said, Carmelo Hayes came out there lurking in the shadows and attacked Wesley while he was on the top rope, cost him the match. And Wesley took it to him because he left out the ring and literally started fighting with Carmelo into the back. That's when Von Wagner attacked. And Von Wagner believes he's owed an opportunity at Braun Breaker's championship, as well as Apollo Crews. And of course, right now, JD McDonough is still lurking in the shadows for his opportunity at Braun's championship. So we got a lot going on with a little bit of time to fill it up. Now, deadline is set for December 10th, but in 2 weeks, 2 sets of titles will be defended. The women's NXT championships will be defended. It's going to be Zoe and Nikita going up against Kaden and Katana. And you're going to have Mandy Rose defending her title against Alba Fire. All right, let me put y'all comments in here. Mandy looked like she was dipped in some butter. She was very golden brown, but that ain't nothing new. And I don't give now fuck who don't like or disagree with it. That bitch has done absolutely nothing to bring anything to that title. If anything, she's tarnished the reputation of it. Well, a lot of people have said that the title elevated Mandy. Mandy didn't elevate the title, which is kind of sad. You know, like you would think that you would be the one to bring the title back up, right? But that is not the case. So I ain't even mad at you for this one. You are 100% correct. The title ain't nothing but an accessory on her, and I'm tired. Well, I mean, that's the truth. That's not a lie. That's true. I feel like that's going to be a triple threat with Von, Braun, and Apollo. And whoever wins that is who MODOK is going after. Probably a reach, but I don't know. You know, Kenny, that might actually make sense because he hasn't beaten Braun. And, like, honestly, MODOK's just waiting for the opportunity. they're not going to give that championship to Braun. I mean, to Von Wagner. More than likely, they'll give it to Apollo, and then JD McDonald's will take it off of Apollo, which I can understand because they probably want Apollo to come back to the main roster to beef up that mid-card men's division and possibly move him into other spaces, which I would love. I think Apollo being in NXT has revived his career. It worked out for him. I can deal with Apollo and JD McDonough winning the NXT title match, but Von Wagner doesn't deserve or hasn't earned jack shit. 100% I agree, Caitlin. Also, I low-key am starting to like MODOK big ass head. Ew. Kenny, are you okay? Did you take your medicine? I think you should take your medicine and lay down. I really do. And that's where Booker T had me all the way fucked up calling Manly the best in the world. And I'm like, why does his raggedy dreadlock, rock-eating teeth-looking ass nigga always praising white mediocrity? Fuck him with no grease. You know what he do? He does. Because when it be Bianca or it be Naomi, like the only person he don't have that same smoke for is Sasha. Like everybody else he treat like shit. Especially Bianca and Naomi. He treat them like they are the bane of his existence. And he'll say shit like, yeah, she been a dominant champion, but she got to stop worrying about friends because it's all about checks. And we're getting championships, man. That's all it's about. It's about that shucky ducky, quack, quack. And that's all I got to say about it. You'll be like, damn, okay. I hate him on commentary. I thought I could deal with it, but I honestly cannot. It is so unnerving to hear him on commentary. It is not good. It's not good, honey. He said, I'm supposed to take 5 milliliters. Did you take the 5 milliliters or did you take more than that? Because I feel like you took too much medicine, Kenny. I feel like you did because ain't no way. Ain't no way creepy ass Jaden McDonough is anybody that will start liking. That is a toxic trait you need to get together, Kenny, right now. Get it together. Focus on Carmelo Hayes. I'd rather you focus on him than to focus on JD McDonough because I'm going to say something and y'all probably going to be like, Tiffany, that's fucked up. But JD McDonough looked like he kidnapped bitches. I don't care what nobody say. Same thing I say about Tom Brady. He be peeking. He definitely be peeking in people's windows and sniffing panties. Oh, but JD McDonough will eat them. Okay? That's kind of shit we talking about. The two different types of crazy. I'm waiting on Giselle to publish that book, Jared, because I'm going to buy it. And I'm going to prove that he's motherfucking insane. I'm going to prove it. Especially against my man, like, bye, Felicia. Well, your man finna lose the championship, baby. He finna be titleist. One way or another, by deadline, Brian Breaker will no longer be NXT champion. That's just fixed. Booker can't say shit when his catchphrase is shucky ducky quack quack. Sir, them dreads is about 5 seconds from sweeping the floor. Worry about that or your hairline. Gone. Just out of here. He gives those women smoke because both Bianca and Naomi are two black people that have accomplished more and have had better careers than he's ever had. But he should be happy about that. These are 2 black women on TV excelling, where you nor your wife could excel at the moment. Like, you should be happy about that. Why is you always a hating ass nigga? Like, even in character, right? Like, even in character, everybody says that Bianca is one of the best they've ever seen to come through the WWE. Heel or face, they all say the same thing. He is the only one that I have seen that talks mad shit about her, and I don't fucking get it. I'm like, is she not one of the greatest? Is she not performing at a high caliber where she had no prior experience? None. She came in with no experience, nothing, and picked it up like that. The girl just blessed. And you mad because she blessed to do what she do. What is the problem? Like, I'm like, bruh, I just don't like it. I forgot who MODOK was for a couple minutes. I had to go through my mental file of nicknames for like 3 minutes. I can't. No, Tiff, I'd rather deal with Jimmy Neutron or Carmelo Hayes. Too late. But he'll lick Becky Lynch ass, child. Clean. Lick it clean, honey. Bianca Belair is a fucking goat, and she deserves all the fucking flowers. Period. I love Bianca because she just good. She's just naturally good at what she does, and there is nothing that anybody can do about it. You can't question how good she is. What Bianca has been able to accomplish is beyond words. Someone with no wrestling background, no experience, didn't even grow up a fan. The girl is just special, and he can't take it. But that's what I'm saying. Shouldn't he be able to just be like, I respect, look at this black woman shine? Like, when you say that, even Mark Henry, the one who discovered her, he her biggest cheerleader. And you know Mark Henry on some bullshit. I'm just like, bruh. Side note, did y'all see Idris and Ofe tonight in them sweats? Girl, he African. The only way I can explain it, I'm just tired of seeing meat. It's just meat everywhere, and I'm tired of it. I just want to be normal. Niggas don't want to wear no shirt. They don't want to put no fucking drawers on. All you keep seeing is niggas' meats everywhere. I'm just like, please put them away. Put your tittles up. Put your meat up. Put all that shit up. I don't want to see your meat every day. I really, really don't. But I saw it. I don't care. I'm tired. Bianca is just that bitch and one of the most gorgeous women I've ever seen. I just can't. I just don't. I'm tired of seeing pork swords. I'm sick of it. Anyways, Simone and Schism sat down. Well, Ava Rain, as she likes to call herself. She said the titties was tittying, okay? Them tittles was tittying, babes. And they do want to wash their booty holes. And they don't want to wash their booty holes. What is society? Girl. So Ava Rain sat down with Schism, and they all were talking. Ava Rain very eloquently expressed her feelings. She let everybody know why she did what she did. She said, and I quote, "Nobody checked on me to see how I was doing. I had been gone for over a year. Nobody cared, but no, I didn't even know Joe Gacy, and he called me and checked on me." And she said they welcome me with open arms, and they welcome me for being who I am. And you don't even know me. You think you know me, but you don't know me. And you're talking about you know me since I got here. She said, I didn't get a call from you, Vic. You didn't call me. Nobody did, but y'all all claim you know me. I mean, to Ava Rain's credit, sis got a point. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna fuck with me but not fuck with me? You know what I'm saying? Like, how you gonna leave me to the wayside because I got injured? I guess once your career take off and mine slow down, it is what it is, huh? I gotta accept that. Well, it look like you're gonna have to accept that Schism is my family. Everybody weirded out by the fact I'm with Schism, but you didn't have no problem leaving me at the side of the job. You had no problem with that shit. You didn't have no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? And she was very vocal about Cameron Grimes because Cameron Grimes basically tweeted out that she's been brainwashed and that Joe Gacy is using her. And she was like, he never asked me for anything. I didn't have to give anything to be a part of Schism, but it's okay because anybody who talks bad about Schism is going to be reckoned with. She said next week Joe Gacy and Cameron Grimes are going to have one final bout, and Joe Gacy's going to put Cameron Grimes in his place, and Schism will rise. And that's where sis left it. I said, okay, girl. Whatever makes you happy. Okay? Whatever makes you happy, girl. So we got next week, we got Joe Gacy going up against Cameron Grimes for the final time. We also have, oh, look at that. We also have well, it is what it is. Oh yeah, I forgot. They had a couple women's matches and a couple other things that were featured heavily on NXT today. So Cora Jade had a match with Valentina Feroz. Valentina wanted Sanga to come out with her, and Sanga had to respectfully decline because Veer told him that he is not respected. They think he's a clown and they just using him. When in fact, Veer is the one who's using him, okay? Veer, your cockeyed ass is using him because we all know your shitty ass was on the main roster just failing, honey. You was failing and you needed your partner back. So you came to NXT to start some shit and stir up the ground, but Sanga was just getting the girls together. Okay, Sanga was giving them motivation. Sanga was making sure that they understood that they could be, the power was in the tongue. You had to be sweet and kind and loving, and that's how you get things in life. And you just had to be dedicated. Sanga was their guiding light. He was there for them. He was by their side. And here you come snatching them because you selfish. Your cockeyed ass is selfish. You beady-eyed fool. You're selfish. Okay? So Valentina, she asked him to come out there with her. He declined. And she was very upset. It hurt her. So she went out there to fight punk-ass Cora. And Cora was out there. Weak match. I'm sorry. Cora is not performing well. I don't know what's going on with her or why she's performing at this level or caliber, but it's trash. She making little boneheaded ass mistakes. She's not funny. As a heel, you don't love to hate her. You just want her off your screen, to be honest with you. There's nothing about Cora at this present moment that says, okay, she got the juice. Like, I mean, as a heel, yeah, she's all right, but she's just more of a nuisance than she is a threat to anybody. It's like a child being in the ring with a toy and everybody around her, she don't like nobody, or she's the mean girl, so she's making fun of them. And it just doesn't work for me. I don't like Cora at this point, and her wrestling has begun to become lazy. And if she's going to stay, she needs to tighten up because she is just not giving what she's supposed to have gave. Okay? Now, they also showed Lola. So Lola the Fish was back there with Tony, and what's Goon number one's name? I don't know shit. I can't think of that. He got a big ass nose. I know that. That nigga nose. He has a schnoz. He doesn't have a nose. He has a schnoz. Okay. The girls are back there. You know, Electra come back there, and Tony's like, "Well, you decided to stay in NXT, I guess." You know, and she was just like, "I'm a dangerous woman." He said, "We saw what you did last week." She said, "I'm a dangerous woman." She said, "If you thought I was dangerous before, when I ain't got no leadership in front of me," she said, "What do you think I'm gonna do now?" Tony was like, "Damn," you know. So Goon number one was like, "Do you believe her?" Because I don't know. He was like, "Do I believe her?" Yes, I do. I do believe her 100%. So Tony's 100% behind this unhinged Lola, as they call her. Me personally, I can give less than a damn. I like Elektra. I think Elektra can wrestle. She's one of the best wrestlers the female wrestlers have at this point. She's very solid, but her character work is shitty. So until I see something different, she gonna be on my shit list too. Fuck ass Kiana was wrestling today. She went up against Thea, and this was all done, because Brody wasn't there anymore. He's been let go by NXT. Thea went up against Kiana. Kiana served papers to Briggs and Jensen. I can't never get their names right. She served papers to Briggs and Jensen, which probably was to shut down their little bar that they be having backstage. Now, what I think is going on with Kiana, Chase U, and this whole situation. A few weeks ago, Kiana was talking to her assistant and somebody on the phone about buying the property of Chase U and getting it because it was prime real estate. So she says. She said she had a plan to do it. It just needed to be executed. She took that balloon titty bitch she has for an assistant and had her go and get the papers filed and get something started. All of a sudden, Duke Hudson shows up in Chase U. Okay? Now, I believe, y'all can believe it or not, but I believe that Duke Hudson is a plant. Duke Hudson is sent there to cause discord and be an agent of chaos. He's already started to plant the stories and plant the seeds, and the wheels are turning. I believe by next year, Duke Hudson will be the leader of Chase U, and then Chase U is going to get shut down. And everybody's going to be like, no, the all is lost moment. Watch. Oh, man. It's going to be a mess. Once again, Javier shouldn't be talking shit and should have just sat there and ate his food, because not only he lost to Odyssey Jones, he also got his ass whooped for it. Well, I mean, sometimes he deserves an ass whooping. Other times he just be in the wrong place at the wrong time, child. Ava Raine, I can't wait to see her in the ring. Sis can talk. Her and Skizzy was a good pick. She did very well. Like I said, I saw it last week when she came out there. She was very, very, very poignant about what she said and how she said it. She made it very clear that she is not there to make friends. Vic Joseph was never her friend. She was like, you don't even fucking know me. You claim to know me, but you don't. Everybody has these preconceived notions about me, these assumptions about me when they don't know anything. But you're about to learn. She made it very clear. And I was like, okay, girl. I fucks with it. Okay? I'm telling you, she has revived Schism. We all thought Schism was creepy, but adding her to Schism, brilliant idea in my opinion. Sis did very good. Okay? In Booker T case, Sasha checked his ass. Oh, hey, Donnie. Oh, that's why he done left off of her. Okay, that's why he done took his foot off her neck. Now, I love Cameron, but he finna get beat with a capital T. Oh, yeah, they gonna jump him. They gonna jump him. I see that two ways. Maybe Gacy is using you for who you are, a.k.a. who your daddy is. Ooh, not who your daddy is. I don't know. Maybe because I didn't see it. But this whole rebellious, you think you know me, but you don't, from generational superstars is a little bit old and tired. It wasn't done the way that you think it is. I really think that you should go and watch the playback on WWE.com or go to their YouTube channel and look, because you have to see how she conveyed it. How it came across was not a situation of, well, I'm a WWE superstar's daughter and y'all just think I'm that. That piece is in there. You're going to hear that. But the way she conveyed it, it came across as if people are constantly giving her this idea of what she should be and how she should be. And this is what she is. And y'all don't really know her the way you think you know her. And that's how she conveyed it. It wasn't done in a typical fashion, like maybe the way Randy Orton would have done it, or like how Charlotte Flair probably would have done it, or any other generational superstar. This was done in her own little way. And it was a good promo for Ava, especially with it being her first promo essentially in Schism. outside of what the little few lines that she gave us last week. She did very well. Oh, fuck. My nail got caught. Stacks. Oh, his name is Stacks. I'm going to just call him Goon number 1 because I don't know his fucking name. I hear big noses are nice sometimes. You know what? You tried it. Kitty is so high. Did y'all see Charlie Dempsey? That man is vicious. So after Thea and fuck ass Kiana's match, they had Charlie came out there and attacked Andre Chase. Okay, now there's some history between Charlie and Chase. Charlie basically was somebody who was a part of Chase U, demonstrating moves and trying to get people to understand certain locks and holds. He was a little bit more aggressive than Andre needed him to be, so he was removed from Chase U. I imagine he wasn't too happy about that, so he has attacked Andre Chase, and I'm assuming they're going to lead to something later on down the line. Now, why I say that Duke Hudson is causing some discord is because during Thea and fuck-ass Kiana's match, Thea was losing pretty bad, and Duke put her foot on the bottom rope to keep the count from going and having her lose the match. This caused a distraction with Andre Chase kicking Duke Hudson out and yelling at him, and that caused Thea to pay attention to that, which in turn caused her to lose the match, which she was already going to lose to begin with. Now, they got into an argument in the ring when Duke came out there to help Thea and to help out Andre Chase after Charlie Dempsey attacked him. They got into an argument during the attack. They got into an argument because he was trying to motivate Thea and tell her it was going to be all right. Everybody suffers a loss. You can get over it. Charlie Dempsey attacked. Duke came out there and ran him off, and that's when you got the little interaction between Thea and Duke Hudson. So there's a lot going on with Chase U, fuck-ass Kiana, Charlie Dempsey, and Duke Hudson. It's a lot of variables, but that's the way it is. That's a tall-ass plant. I still say he's a plant. Yeah, but they cool now. I don't know. It sounds tired to me. Your opinion. Not going to shit on it. I just finished watching it on Twitter, and yeah, I ain't feeling it. Can't change your mind. It's your opinion. It's your opinion. You can feel how you want. I disagree. I think that she did very well. Like, she can talk. She can give Dominic Mysterio some lessons, but I'm not really feeling this character. I don't think it's going to be something anybody's going to like, to be honest with you. But I do like the fact that it's different, and she didn't come in trying to be her dad or be anything remotely close to what she has as a legacy. She has time to build into that if that's what she wants to do. But she went completely left with it, and I can appreciate that. She's trying to do her own thing. So this month, they're celebrating Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins for a decade of their time in the WWE. Now, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins both came to the main roster at the same time. However, they had different trajectories in the WWE, and now they both are two of the top superstars, especially in the men's division in the world. Roman Reigns now being one of the most sought-after superstars, megastars that the company has been able to create within the last 10 years. He has been champion for over 2 years, and it has not stopped. And it ain't going to stop this Saturday up against Logan Paul either. He has gone through the entire roster and some who aren't even on the main roster anymore. And they have decided that they're going to start to chronicle everything that Roman and Seth has accomplished within the WWE, from Royal Rumbles to WrestleMania main events to even their debut with the Shield. The only thing that I am missing, of course, is Jon Moxley. But Rightfully so. He's not there. He is in another company as a champion over there. So they're going to celebrate those who are there. But respectfully, I just miss Jon Moxley being there. Since all three of them debuted at the same time and they all had different trajectories, and they now are respectfully at the top of their respective companies. It is a great thing that they're celebrating Roman because he rightfully deserves it. And it's an amazing thing that they're celebrating Seth because he rightfully deserves it. I also think that Dean Ambrose should be celebrated because he definitely deserves it as well. However, we as fans can still give Dean Ambrose his accolades. And if he decides to come back, he can always get those accolades then too. So congratulations to Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns for a decade in the company. They got a long way to go, but their accomplishments and accolades just led to a road of success for both of these men. Seth Rollins was able to find his wife and have a child and still be considered one of the greatest wrestlers in WWE history and, of course, all over the world. And Roman Reigns has, of course, become one of the biggest WWE superstars ever. And that's not an easy feat. So congratulations to you both. All right. Wow, it's really been a decade. Holy shit. I remember the day like it was yesterday. Of course. Two of the best. They both had Hall of Fame careers in a 10-year span. That's incredible. Gotta give them props. They've done amazing things. So, with all that being said, I'm going to recap I'm going to give you guys what's supposed to happen on Friday. Friday Night SmackDown, we're supposed to be led out. The final match or the main event match should be Gunther versus Rey Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. I honestly don't see Rey getting this championship. If he does, I'll be fucking shocked. Honestly, 100% shocked. There is nobody else that I have seen that is scheduled to be on SmackDown. I imagine that Sami Zayn and Solo will be there to represent the bloodline since Roman and the Usos both are going to be gone. And we all know that Sami does not support the Saudi show, so he's not going to go to the Saudi show, okay? That's not something that he is willing to do. With all that being said, I'm curious to see how SmackDown is going to play out. There's a few variables with SmackDown that's going to be quite interesting. Last Friday, we saw Shayna Baszler take up for Ronda Rousey as if they was going to be rolling together as a little team, which I'm kind of here for. She took out Natalya in a sleeper hold, took her down, and made her go to bed, honey. Natalya was down for the count. Okay, she was gone. Now, I don't know if they're going to make a faction out of it, but I definitely would love it if they did because Shayna would be the enforcer and Ronda would just be running around whooping ass. And that's all I want to see. I just want to see that. Like, make it happen, Captain. That's all. Just make it happen, okay? Now, hold on a second. Hold on. Love them. Oh, Donnie. The Shield is top 3 greatest factions of all time. I'm sorry, but this Ray render make it look like he got dentures. He do. He doesn't. Maybe arguably the greatest faction. I still wear their merch from time to time. Oh, that's sweet. I could definitely see the Shield being 2-time WWE Hall of Famers as a group and as individuals. One as a group and as individuals. Yeah, sure. Sammy finna be at the Waffle House. Stop. SmackDown is pre-taped, right? I thought that it was pre-taped, but given the fact that most of the people who are going to Saudi aren't scheduled to be at SmackDown this Friday, I don't think that it is. I don't think Roman and Logan Paul are going to show up on Friday. I don't think the Usos are going to be there. And I don't think that Karrion and Drew are going to be there. So to me, the show can still go live without those guys being there. They don't need to pre-tape it. I didn't see them announce that it was going to be pre-taped or anything. I haven't seen any dirt sheets announce it's going to be pre-taped. So I imagine that the show is going to go on without a hitch. They'll probably have LA Knight and Ricochet wrestle. They'll probably have Sammy and Solo there causing some friction with somebody. They may have they're going to have Gunther and, of course, Ray. They're going to have Shayna and Ronda there. So they've got plenty of people to cover the show without it going on, without it being, without them having to pre-tape it. And then we get, we get the shit spoiled for us before the show happens, right? So I hope it goes on live and it isn't pre-taped. Because honestly, those guys don't need to be there. As far as I'm concerned, after Monday Night Raw, their asses should have been on a flight to Saudi. No questions asked, especially Roman. It should be, but I'm not 100% sure. That Waffle House shit was hilarious. When Sammy said that, the way Jay lit up, like he forgot he didn't like him. Laughing my ass off. I watched that multiple times since I seen it. I have the Shield merch, but I can't find it. So, Crown Jewel is a very stacked show. They have added another match to this show since Monday. Now, we saw Bliss and Asuka win the tag team titles, and now they will compete against not toxic attraction, but damage control. Fuck. They will compete against damage control at Crown Jewel, just like Bianca's going to compete against Bayley at Crown Jewel. So like I said, we all know that Roman and Logan Paul are going to fight. Great. Roman's going to win. We also know that Bray Wyatt is going to be showing up at Crown Jewel. Now, I'm a little curious as to why Bray Wyatt is showing up at Crown Jewel and what this all means. Now, we all know that Uncle Howdy, because Gerard had me calling him Hyde, but his name is Uncle Howdy. We all know Uncle Howdy has been trying to expose Bray Wyatt these last couple of weeks. He called him a liar and a fraud and telling him that he is separating himself to try to make himself appear to be better to these people when he need to just be his unauthentic, unapologetic self. Okay? He need to be his most authentic, unapologetic self. Okay? So Uncle Howdy, creepy ass, is lurking around, but I just want to know why Bray going. Like, what is Bray going to contribute to Crown Jewel that will lead us back to the States and into the next set of storylines that are coming up for SmackDown? Because we all know Bray is going to be on SmackDown, okay? With all that being said, like I said, Miss Bianca, the current Raw Women's Champion, will defend her championship against Bayley in a last woman standing match. Now, the last time we had this conversation, I told y'all that this match lends favor to Bayley. However, that doesn't mean that Bayley will win. It just lends favor to her. Bayley is somebody who has experience in long-running matches. So it wouldn't be hard for her to be able to beat Bianca, especially in time and stamina, wrestling in that kind of match. Sir, we're just going to have to wait and see. And in my opinion, this probably is going to be your match of the night. So, to Bayley and to Bianca, may the best woman win. In regards to the other half of Damage Control, they're obviously very reeling that they lost their titles on Monday Night Raw. And out of fairness for giving them this impromptu match on Monday Night Raw, they have successfully re-challenged for their championships at Crown Jewel, and that championship has been granted. Bliss and Asuka will defend their championships against Dakota Kai and Io Sky. Now, there was a time where the Saudi show was exclusively for the men. And if it hadn't been for girls like Lacey Evans and Natalia and the rest of the crew fighting, and including Stephanie McMahon, fighting for the women to be able to perform, none of these female matches would be happening. So you got to give them, you got to give WWE props for fighting for all of their superstars and not just letting it go down with just the one of the men. So congratulations to y'all for being able to perform in front of that crowd. And I'm sure all of the Saudi women and all the Saudi girls are very happy to see that the girls are able to do whatever the men are capable of doing. And in that regard, I say, good luck to both teams and may the best female tag team win. All right. Another tag team is being defended at Crown Jewel. The Usos are the current reigning, defending, undisputed tag team champions. And they are inching and creeping up on the New Day's tag team longest reigning record. They just a few weeks out. So the Usos are defending against the Brawling Brutes. Now, the Brawling Brutes, I don't right off recall if those guys have had matches with a tag team championship match with the Usos before. I want to say that they have, but I'm not quite sure. So somebody in the comments will have to correct me. I want to say they have, but I don't think that they have. I don't think they've had a tag team shot, but I want to say that they did. All right. So let me get some of y'all comments in here. My damn nail keep getting caught. Oh damn, I smell some bullshit. Contacts Roman and is a fucking vibe. But I was happier with than a motherfucker when he took them shits out. I was a little confused. I was like, damn, did he change his eye color? What's going on? Lord Bailey better not win. I don't know, but possibly Bray might be involved in the end outcome of Roman's match. Maybe not. Also, a reach for me. Actually, it's really not, Kenny. From my understanding, Bray Wyatt is being put on Roman Reigns, but I don't know when that's going to start. However, I think it could very easily start in Saudi for him to start messing with Roman. And especially since they're not going to have any opponents for Roman for a while until Royal Rumble. They're not going to have a pay-per-view after Survivor Series. There is no more pay-per-views. So about a month, like 2 months are going to go by before they have another opponent for him. So him fucking with Roman Reigns for a little while might be an interesting thing until they decide if they're going to have him compete against Roman at Royal Rumble. Which if they do, it's totally up to them, babe. You know? And I love Bailey, but I'm nervous for the Crown Jewel show. I just want them to be safe because I seen a tweet floating around today about a threat in the area. That's not good. I love the women's matches. Bliss versus Sasha was the trail. Facts, Don. Then they extended it to Natty and Lacey. And it's just been growing from that. I'm wrong. I have them beating New Day's. I wouldn't have them beat New Day's record. I think they have, but they lost. It had to be a SmackDown show. I want to say that it was. As far as Bliss and Sasha, I completely forgot about them. I do remember them wrestling in the Middle East. They were the first women to wrestle in the Middle East, period. I was regarding the Saudi show, so I wasn't undercutting them. I just was talking about the girls who wrestled at the Saudi show first. the major crown jewel Saudi show is what I was referring to. But in a sense, Don is correct. They just did it in the last PLE. What? They didn't wrestle them at the last PLE? The last premium live event they had wasn't the last premium live event Clash of the Castle?
Can't remember.
What was the last premium live event? They didn't wrestle. They haven't wrestled them at a PLE. No, it was Extreme Rules. The last pay-per-view was Extreme Rules. I don't remember the Usos wrestling at Extreme Rules, did they?
I don't remember them wrestling at Extreme Rules either.
Nah, they didn't wrestle at Extreme Rules. They didn't wrestle them at the last PLE. Sasha and Alexa had that women's match in India, I think. And that's when the crowd was chanting, "This is hope." Yeah, it was in India. Mm-hmm. Before the last PLE. Oh, yeah. I saw that too, Kenny. The last PLE was Brutes versus Imperium. That's what it was. Okay. It was Extreme Rules, y'all. I could not figure out what pay-per-view it was. I'm like, what pay-per-view did they fight at? Because I didn't really like Extreme Rules. But I love that Brawling Brutes match, though. With Imperium, that shit was fire. But I didn't really care for Extreme Rules too much. And I like Bianca's match with Bayley. But that's probably why I don't remember it, because I ain't give shit about it. I tend to do that. I block shit out real quick, like, oh, well, that's over. Throw it right out my mind. I got mixed up. Yeah, Tears, that's it. It was Abu Dhabi. Okay. They need to do that Saudi show and get the fuck out. Well, usually that's what they do. They don't stay in there too long. They usually perform, and then after that, their flights are booked to leave. They don't stay overnight. They leave. Especially Roman. Roman and them charter their own fucking plane. They are not flying commercial. They fly private.
Once they done doing like we done, y'all are fuck out of here.
Yeah, Roman, the Usos, Paul Heyman, they're on a private jet. They don't fly commercial. Now when they go over there, they don't. But I do think they had a match, but I think it was on a regular Friday. I think it was too. You ain't lying. I literally blocked that shit out. I feel like this isn't the first time the arena or area has been threatened due to a WWE show. I think they use the company plane. I don't think so. So they all fly together to avoid any flight delays. The last time I remember them going over there, not everybody flew on the company plane. I don't know. I mean, I think that plane can fit all of them since there's just a certain section of them going. But I know for a fact the last time that they went, Roman chartered his own plane. Because I remember him getting on the plane, and they took pictures. And I remember Naomi was getting on the plane with them. That was a private jet. That wasn't the WWE plane. At least I don't remember it being a WWE plane. Because she was like, I'm going with them, but with me annoying them because she was on the plane. She said something funny. And I don't think it was the WWE private jet. I think it was his own. I think he chartered his own. Why can't I fucking remember? So they all fly together to avoid flight delays. I think most of them, particularly on Raw, were there from about a week. And then later in that week, the SD takes the WWE plane. They're there for about a week. Well, what I understood, most of them don't stay in Saudi. Most of them go to Dubai. They'll be in Dubai and be over in Dubai chilling and having a good time. And then when it's time for them to go to Saudi, they go back to Saudi. They travel back to Saudi. And then they leave and they'll go back. They'll go fly somewhere else since they have time. They don't have to be back home yet. They'll fly somewhere else. Like I remember Seth and Becky went to Dubai and then they ended up going to like Spain or something like that. And then they headed back here. No, they went to Ireland. They left Dubai and went to Ireland and was in Ireland for a little while, and then they came back to the States. But oftentimes they don't stay in Saudi because it's not safe. Roman and the Usos had their own plane. That's what I thought. They had their own plane because Naomi had took them pictures of it, and she was talking about how she always annoying them. And I thought that was so funny. And I was like, damn, Roman out here living the best life. Shit, got fucking money for his own plane. I want to be like Nino Brown in the CMB. Anyway, I generally don't want to be superiorly rich. I just want to be financially stable. I want to be able to have all my bills on auto pay. And when I pay my bills, I got a little bit left to do whatever it is I want to do. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't too difficult. It's not going to kill me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to break the bank. I got enough money to save. I got enough money to do what I want. And all my bills on auto pay. That's it. So if I want to get up today and be like, babe, you want to go roll down to Tennessee right quick, go see Tina and then come back home and drive, like, I can take a couple days off work. We just get up and go. But we got the money in the bank. You know what I'm saying? And be in my own house. Like, that's the first main goal is to be in your own house. You can walk around butt ass naked. Anyways, the OC is going up against Judgment Day and Dominic Mysterio. Now, I don't know what they're going to do in terms of isolating Rhea Ripley. She may or may not go because I feel like if it's not necessary for her to be there, she shouldn't be there, especially if she isn't going to be a deciding factor in the match. But with the way they've been hyping her up as of lately, she just might be. However, I still think that they need to come up with somebody to isolate her and neutralize her. And I don't know what AJ Styles and them was doing last week, but they damn sure didn't figure it out this week. Okay? Because they got their asses whooped. With all that being said, I don't really care about this match either. I could care less who wins or who loses. As long as after this is over. Okay? The match I am interested in, which is very fucking surprising, is Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley's match. Now listen, I don't give a shit about either one of these dudes, but let me tell y'all something. What I do fuck with is two grown men fighting like they ain't never liked each other, ain't never seen each other, and they ain't gonna never like each other in this lifetime. I likes the animosity. I likes the power and the brawn in it. Okay, no pun intended. I likes the fighting. So I think this match, Bayley and Bianca's match, these gonna be your two top tier matches for tonight. I'm calling it. Those two matches right there. Bayley and Bianca's match and Brock Lesnar and Bobby's match are gonna knock. If I don't see carnage in Bobby and Brock's match, I'm gonna be mad as hell. I'm going to be mad. I want to see carnage. I want to see bodies laid out. I want to see rings messed up, barricades broken, tables took out. I want to see it all. No holds barred. Now, these are the two matches that I don't generally care about. I really don't care about it. But anyways, she said... Hold on a second. She said, not the CMB. Child, they the CMB. They Roman in they Nino Brown in the CMB. That's because that would be funny. She said, I just want my own plane so I can fly wherever I want. My own plane called Air Tirza. I came with her. Seth doesn't have a match, right? Not at Crown Jewel. He does not, baby. Nope. Child, I got this annoying bitch tonight. No, unless Mustafa said the match was going to be there. No, they're not having a match at Crown Jewel. I hope she keeps me on the course I've been on. I'd extend this to Survivor Series if it's good. I would too, but I don't think it's going to get extended. I think Brock is okay with just working Crown Jewel and getting paid a quick $2 million. Anyway, but he do work the premium live events the way that Logan Paul does. Anywhoosies, this match between Drew and Karrion, I really hate to say it because I love me some Drew. Drew is my guy. He always has been. But I am not interested in this match in any way, shape, or form. And I hate to say that, but I think it has a lot to do with the way that it was booked. It just was booked to end at Extreme Rules. Therefore, it should be over. They should have had a match on SmackDown instead of booking this for Crown Jewel, and they should have been inside a steel cage. I just don't care for it. And while I like Karrion Kross as well, I just feel like there's no need for any of this. There's just no need for it. You just don't need to do it. I'm happy for him. I'm glad Karrion can go over there because he's got a lot of tattoos, so he might be covered up when he wrestles. But overall, I'm just not interested in this match, and I hate to say that. The last match in this deck of cards for Crown Jewel that is absolutely 100% my worst match of the night for sure is Braun Strowman versus Omos. I don't see this match being any better than what we saw on Friday Night SmackDown a few weeks back. I see neither one of them excelling. I think something weird is going to happen, like the ring post is going to break in half, or the ring is going to collapse, even though it's been reinforced like they said. You know, Omos is 400 pounds at 7 foot. You know what I'm saying? Braun Strowman is what, 3-something? Mm-hmm. So that's about 700 to 800 pounds in the ring on its own. If either one of them goes to the top rope and slams them down, that ring's gonna break down. It's just gonna break. So I feel like they're gonna have some type of stunt that's gonna happen with these two, and that's probably gonna be the highlight. But I just don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about either one of them. I don't care about neither one of them calling themselves a monster because Braun Strowman barely eke out as a monster, and Omos there's nothing about Omos that has a redeeming quality. Y'all can be mad all you want to. I respect the man's hustle and how he was able to get here. True enough, I heard his story. He said he was homeless at one point. He was having a hard time. 100% fucks with that. I get it, but let me tell you something. You, sir, are not a wrestler. If anything, you should be an enforcer. What we have here is a similar situation to when the Great Khali was in the WWE. You had a man who could barely move. He could not do anything, but he was just big, and y'all liked him because he was big. He was a horrible wrestler. Respectfully. He was a horrible wrestler. And so is Omos. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They let Undertaker wrestle in Saudi without sleeves. Karrion will be okay. Okay, then. Well, they need something exciting to happen in this match. Laugh my ass off. Ain't nobody coming to see y'all. Y'all Otis. I can't. I was just about to say that. Child, I just don't give a damn. There's nothing about you in your ring work, anything that says, ooh, that was amazing. No, sir. We're not even finna pretend. And I'm all for supporting Black's talent and supporting everybody that's Black, but y'all got to be reasonable. Y'all got to be reasonable. And that support just ain't it. I'm not giving it to you because it's not worth it. I have tried so many times. I'm like, okay, I'm going to just watch it and see what he gives. He don't give shit. He just don't. And I don't like how we supposed to just accept any and everything. Nah, fam, like, give me the best of what you got. There's some wrestlers that's in the indies that have auditioned for WWE that could have this spot. Omos could still be there, but he does not need to be a person who wrestles on the regular. He needs to be a bodyguard. He needs to be that type of character where you intervene, he takes you out. What he did with AJ Styles was probably some of his best work. And that's about as good as it's going to get with him.
Because AJ.
Exactly. That's about as good as you're going to get with him is a bodyguard. He does not operate very well as an actual singles wrestler. He needs to have someone with him that can give him what he needs. And while I love MVP, I appreciate him, he ain't it either, because he doesn't offer the redeeming quality that AJ Styles did, which is I provide the wrestling, you provide the power. You see what I'm saying? He don't even have that because fucking MVP could barely walk. So, no, like, get the fuck out of here. I don't want to watch that. I'm not watching it. So whenever, hopefully they put that match up first. Well, you know what? Don't ruin the show by starting it off with that shit. Put that in the middle of the show to kind of ease us into the second half so we can have something to look forward to. Start off with Judgment Day and OC. Start off with these guys. Give us something, or start off with the Brawling Brutes and the Usos. Start off with them. Move into the tag team title bout with these four. Okay? Then you can, how many we got left after that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then move into the OC and Judgment Day. Then give us this as a palate cleanser. Come back with Drew and Karrion, and then lead up to give us Brock Lesnar. Give us Bobby and Brock Lesnar right there. Lead into the last woman standing match with Bianca and Bayley, and then end the show with Logan Paul and Roman, and let us see Bray Wyatt. If Bray Wyatt shit has to do with Roman, then debut Bray Wyatt. If it doesn't, you could put Bray Wyatt after you have this shitty match, so y'all can cleanse the palate, because we all gonna hate you if you don't. We gonna hate you if you don't. Okay? We just gonna hate you if you don't. I can't do it no more. Okay? He need to be a cameraman. He can get them aerial shots, girl. Like I said earlier, put them on the pre-show. Aerial, but pretty close, Kenny. All right. Sir, we had a lot going on, all right? But tomorrow we are going to do Freestyle Wednesday. So there are two things I need to mention. One of them is about a wrestler, and the other one is not. So Carmella posted on her Instagram about her ectopic pregnancy and her miscarriage. She suffered a miscarriage in September, and she just found out that she had an ectopic pregnancy this past week. And I feel for Carmella. She said that she wanted to talk about it because she felt like it's a stigma, and a lot of women feel like it's their fault. And she wanted a lot of people to know that they're not alone, and that it happened to her multiple times, and although she's hurting, she's going to find a way to work through it, whether it be through therapy or with the help of her husband, Corey Graves. I extend my support to Carmella. I like Carmella as a person outside of her character. She's a very sweet individual, and she's really nice, and everybody that has ever met her, they all say the same thing about her. There's nothing hurtful or harmful they ever say about her. They always say the sweetest things. She's a very sweet person. So I feel bad that she wasn't able to carry her babies to full term, and that things didn't go the way that she wanted them right then. But you know what? With therapy and with time, I think that she can heal from it and move forward, and then have that baby and complete her family if that's what she wants to do later on in life. So I send all my thoughts and prayers and loves to her and to Corey, because I know it hurt Corey to see her hurting. So I send all of that to y'all, and I hope that y'all pull through it together, and you do everything in your power to make sure Carmella has everything she needs. That is all I can say when it comes to that. I was very hesitant about mentioning it because it wasn't my story to tell, but because Carmella is a part of the WWE and I wanted to show some support to her, I did want to say that I feel for her, and I hope that she heals from this and she moves forward. She has everything that she's ever asked for. Okay. Tish said, if all damage control loses, which they fucking better, Bailey should turn on them and they should break up because it's time. It was a good idea in theory, but not all ideas work. Yep. Yep. But personally, I need them scanned in the game. Child. I've never understood why talking about miscarriages or ectopic pregnancies are such a taboo thing, because a lot of women blame themselves and a lot of men are ignorant. Men automatically assume that you did something to lose said child or to cause that ectopic pregnancy. Like, I was on TikTok and there was a dude who did not know which hole we pee out of. They did not know that we had two holes. They didn't know we pee out of one and there are other things that come out of the other. Okay, they didn't know that. They didn't know that. So, babe, yes, it is a stigma because a lot of men are stupid and they make it a stigma for us. And of course, women follow suit and make it a stigma. So you double down on that, and it becomes this taboo thing that everybody at some point in their lives, if you're sexually active and you're not using condoms, will more than likely experience. 1 in 5, I think it is, 1 in 5 or 1 in 3 women experience miscarriage at some point in their lives. It happens, unfortunately. It happens. Rico and myself need that entrance. I can't. Prayers up for our homegirl. However, I need her at Royal Rumble. I just need her to be healthy and happy, mentally capable. As long as she is that, fine. Royal Rumble is fine by me. My prayers and thoughts for Carmella and Corey. Leah Vandell is a cool person. Carmella is fucking annoying. Loud, but sending them both healing hugs because I can't even imagine having to go through that. Over 50% of first-time pregnancies or ectopic pregnancies are ectopic pregnancies. Okay, she said over 50% of first-time pregnancies are ectopic pregnancies. Well, in Carmella's case, she had a miscarriage her first pregnancy, and in the second one, she had an ectopic pregnancy. So Carmella's had both of them within the last 2 months. She hasn't had a break mentally. So as far as I'm concerned, if Carmella is gone for the next 6 months to get herself together mentally, I am okay with that. I just want her to be mentally okay. That's all. Now, something sadder has happened. Migos... Takeoff of Migos was killed earlier this morning in Houston. They were outside of a bowling alley and an altercation happened and he was shot in the head and killed. Now, one thing I want y'all to understand when it comes to these types of stories is that the world does not seem to be sensitive enough to handle what is going on. We're seeing a lot of imagery. And it is very, very jarring that people are willing to share or post videos and images of a man who has lost his life because of senselessness. I saw things that I should not have seen because of this man's death. And I feel bad for his family, Offset, Quavo, and the whole Black community as a whole who had to see or accidentally came across the images of his death or videos of it. It's very sad that people cannot respect that the deceased deserve the respect that they have earned, whether you love them, hate them, or anything. Just respect them enough to allow them to have peace in their death. You should not be sharing a body around the internet and acting as if this is content, because there needs to be a line. All right, y'all have to start having some decorum and some respect. If you can't respect the dead, then respect the people that he belonged to. He has a family. There's a mother and a father, possibly siblings. He may have had children, a girlfriend. Anybody who loved him is going to be hurting to see something so jarring. Y'all have to have more sympathy than this. And it's just about respect. I hear that word thrown around a lot, but I do know one thing about being a kid in the 90s. When I was a kid, there was just a certain level of respect that you gave. And that's just the pure facts. Y'all have to start respecting people. Yeah, respect is earned, but it is also given. He was a human being. At the end of the day, now I hear a lot of people talking a lot of shit about his music, reflecting in the life he lives, but you misrepresenting him as well. I wasn't a big Migos fan. I didn't really care for their music that much, but I remember a lot of Migos' music when it dropped and it was popping, and there was very rarely a time where Takeoff was talking about shooting and killing. That was not his bag. He was a very calm person, and even though Offset and Quavo was in the news for doing things that was weird, crazy, or off the cuff, you rarely heard anything about Takeoff. Rarely heard anything about him. So it was just wrong for people to come out saying things about him when they are not aware of the music, nor are they aware of the man. The only thing that you should be saying on your timelines about him is my condolences, and I send my prayers to the family. That's it. Y'all got to start learning how to respect people. This man is dead and gone. Over nothing. There's multiple stories out there about Takeoff's death, but the reality is he was shot and killed, and he didn't even do anything wrong. He was not the aggressor. He was not in there fighting. He did not have a weapon. He was unarmed, and he got shot in the crossfire because people are doing stupid things. But there is one thing that I do want to say to a lot of people who trying to live in this lifestyle of, I'm about to get big, I'm going to be a rapper. You want to be famous? You want to be a rapper? Then you got to leave hood shit behind. Now, I'm not blaming Takeoff for his death because he didn't do anything wrong. It was the person who pulled the trigger who killed him. But anybody who is within earshot of my voice and you're living a lifestyle where you're out here talking about gang and gang banging and shit all the fucking time, understand that your words have power and it will follow you. And just because you grew up in the hood or you hood adjacent, don't mean you have to carry that shit with you. Leave them niggas where you left them. They ain't meaning you no good because they just trying to hitch a ride. And they ain't gonna change. The code you now live by, they never gonna live by because they don't understand it. You just trying to live. And they just living for the day. They don't know if they're going to live tomorrow. They don't know if they're going to live in 3 weeks. It's too many of these young dudes dying in the streets. Nobody's making it to 35 and 40. Now, I done lived long enough to see this happen in 2 separate decades of my lifetime. In the 90s and in the early 2000s, and it tapered off a little bit. And we got a little bit of peace. And now in the 2020s, they just dying left and right every month.
Yeah, go back a little further than that. How much like go back to 2018 with Nipsey?
It's too much. The late 2010s to the 20s is too much. Nobody's living past 25. And if they live past 28, they dying at 28. It shouldn't take 15 rappers dying in a 6-month span for people to understand that there's a problem here. It's too much. And this is the sacrifice you have to make to be able to be rich and to be famous. I'd rather be a lame. I'd rather be a lame. I'd rather sit at home and just live my life and be happy than to have to deal with looking over my shoulder to see if somebody gonna rob or kill me. Because this is just sad. That man did not have to die that way. And we got to do better than this. Because now we're going to get the onslaught. Now everybody is going to be talking shit, saying, see, we told you. Y'all kill each other. So why are you worried about if the police kill you? It's coming because I seen it on social media today. We have to do better. We have to learn how to respect each other as human beings and love each other as human beings because we all we got. And let me make something else clear. Some of y'all think because we tell Kanye West we don't want to hear the shit that he got to say, that we just writing him off. In this case, Kanye gonna have to do penance for his own actions. There are things that you have to be held accountable for. Holding somebody accountable is not a bad thing. That's not writing them off. We have to do better as a people. You're not gonna tolerate no mess. And it's time out for the blackouts and we not listening. No, we have to do better as people. We have to do better as people. You gotta hold people accountable. Let me put it like a plainer for you so you understand. Just because you got money, don't mean you somebody I should listen to or follow. Just because you have power or you rich does not mean that you are somebody that I should have to pattern myself after, thought process, or any of that. Because a lot of success that has been achieved by white, black, anybody has been by happenstance. You might have wished it, manifested it, hoped for it, but it's by happenstance. It's luck. We gotta do better. We have got to do better. Hold on a second. Here's that. I didn't know he was shot in the head. Yes, unfortunately. I saw TMZ posted on their Twitter page, and I didn't even look at it. They started it. They have the pictures. They're blurred out, but you can see everything. And to not be graphic, I'm just going to tell you, you can see everything. Even with the blurs, you can see it all. And it's wrong. People have no fucking respect or humanity, and it's disgusting. Takeoff was unproblematic. All credit to Migos. They did provide a culture shift within rap. This generation is so desensitized to situations like this. They rather do shit like film a dead body for likes and views for a quantity of social media followers, and it's sickening. I really hate that that's what it's come down to. I know Malcolm was hurt by this. Takeoff was his favorite out of the group. Takeoff was a lot of people's favorite, to be honest with you. Don said, I'm hood adjacent. I was shocked and sad that I found that Takeoff was murdered. And one of the reasons was because of his age. He was so young. Him being so young. You'd be surprised how many rappers have died before the age of 28. What, Juice WRLD was 21?
Something like that.
Juice WRLD was 21. P&B Rock was in his 20s too.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? What's the dude that had the he did all the remakes on his album? What's his name, babe? He had the braid Pop Smoke.
Yeah, Pop Smoke.
Pop Smoke was in his 20s.
Mm-hmm.
The Thug Life gangbang shit is whack. Takeoff will never get to experience full manhood because some dumbass was out there trying to prove his. And that's the crazy thing. Because I remember when I was a teenager and when we was like preteens, what was it, like 13? Being in the gang was whack. That shit was whack as fuck. They was like, nigga, I'm in the gang. I rep such and such street. We're like, nigga, we don't give a fuck about that shit. Nigga, won't. That shit is corny as fuck. What? Is you serious? You got a whole mama and like 4 sisters at home. You worried about banging on the street? You gotta go home and take care of your sisters. Like, we didn't play that shit. I don't know where this damn love affair of gangs and shit came from. I truly don't, but we didn't embody that shit at all. And we listen to gangster rap. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
We didn't do that. But no, for real, you can't do shit you used to when you come up. You gotta leave that shit behind. Facts, Tears. It never appeared to me. It never appealed to me. As a community, we need to do better. And the source of it all, in my opinion, is reforming the gun laws in the country. Because at the end of the day, it starts with us. She's right. And I'm 25. Well, the difference between you and them, Kayla, is you got better sense. You ain't out there trying to be worried about what some niggas is doing or how niggas is out there gang banging or selling dope or trying to live that lifestyle or even be by it. That's not something you care for. Now, I want to be fair and just tell you the truth. If you live in life and you ain't worried about none of that, 99% of the time, you won't get caught up in none of that mess. So just because you're younger than him and he's dead and you're not, it doesn't mean that it could happen to you. Not in that way. Okay? I don't want to get too morbid. It ain't going to happen to you in that way. You know what I'm saying? You just have to protect your sanity and keep your peace and watch who you keep around you. Not everybody that's around you, it has good intentions for you. Some of them are leaves, not branches. Okay? And even the branches break. You want to get you some roots, honey. Both Tupac and Biggie died in their early 20s over a misunderstanding. I don't even think he had kids, to be honest. Jesus Christ. It was the opposite here in New York. The Bloods and Crips was very real and rampant for years. The Latin Kings also. Same in Chicago. Wasn't like that here in Ohio. It didn't start popping up again until after we got out of high school. That's when we started seeing the Crips and the Bloods reemerge and the different sects of those gangs reach far into Ohio, especially Latin Kings in the Latino community. We didn't start seeing that until after high school was over for us. And the kids coming behind us was listening to the music and was glorifying the culture that the adults had lived, and they was just rapping about their lives, and they like, ooh, I want that life too. So they started glorifying it, and they started to create their own gangs, and then some of them gangs got absorbed by the big ones, by the Latin Kings, by the Crips, by the Bloods. It is what it is, unfortunately. I don't know why that life is so enticing, but I would imagine seeing somebody gunned down in the middle of the street or a chalk outline would deter you from wanting to even be in that shit. But, you know, I digress. But the U.S. government is more worried about gun rights, but not rights to our own bodies. It's bad now. They recruiting fucking kids, telling them they don't have a future for real. It's because we leaving them all to their own devices, and we got to start corralling this shit now. You know what I'm saying? We got to. And it's our responsibility because they are people. We can't look to nobody else to help us. And we can't look to these fucking rappers and goddamn singers to do it either. Because they're not going to do it. Now, some of them, they give back to the community. They keep up the Boys and Girls Club and do all that shit. But the only people that's going to be able to save us is us. You can't look to the Jewish community to talk for us or to at least have our back because they're not going to do that. We can't look to no other community to protect us except for ourselves. Now, I heard goddamn Zoe talking about it on his show this past Monday. He was talking about Kanye. He was like, I believe this is all a plan for Kanye to get rid of himself from underneath Adidas and all this other stuff. And I was like, bro, listen, I don't give a damn about none of that. You can do all of that, take care of yourself without demeaning and disrespecting your own people as well as a whole other section of people. Like, you got to get it together. You talking about community and God and everything like that, but God didn't operate that way. God didn't spew hate so he can get what he wanted for himself. That's not how God works. And that's not how you should work. You should know better and do better because you should be a better person than that. And we as people have to do better. You don't have to have a lot of money to corral your community together. You don't have to have a lot of money to make sure these kids know that just because life is hard doesn't mean it will stay that way. You got to work and have due diligence to make yourself have a better place to live, to give yourself a better life. Because unfortunately, the people who created you, they can't do that. So you're going to have to work and do it for yourself. And another thing I want to tell y'all before I go. You do not have to go to college. You do not have to go to college to be a success. If you want to be a success, I tell you what you do. If you're young, you between the ages of 16 and let's say 22, and you are stuck, you don't know what you want to do, and you work a little dead-end penny job and you live at home with your parents, I tell you what you do. You find a career path that you really want to do, something you enjoy, something you love, that you can make money off of. And you take $15 and you sign up for Skillshare. I'm dead ass serious. Sign up for Skillshare and take a course all the way through from beginning to end, whether it's IT, programming, if it's graphic design, photography, cooking, baking, whether it's you want to be in media, movies, TV, if you want to be an author, whatever it is that you want to do. The only thing you got to go to college for are, stuff that requires higher education, doctor, a nurse. And even then, you don't have to necessarily go to college. You have to take the right courses. For nursing, you have to take the right courses to be certified to make the big dollars, okay? But for a doctor, you got to go to school, okay? Now, if you don't want to do that and you want to do your own thing, telling you what to do. Go on Skillshare and take a couple courses and figure out what you want to do. And then start doing it. You ain't got to have a college education. You don't have to have one. Because it's a racket. And they told us that we needed it, and we didn't. And now half of us is bogged down by debt, which they don't want to give us. They trying to kill us. They've been doing it for years. It's possible there are no chosen ones. I didn't go to college, and look at me. I'm amazing, period. Tears said, I'm amazing. Period. Whatever you want to do, even if you want to cook, if you want to be a chef, I do highly recommend that you take those serve safe classes so you can know what temperature food needs to be cooked at so it can be safely prepared. That kind of stuff you can pay for on your own and take. But if you want to truly do something that you really feel good and passionate about, do not waste time with things that don't serve your best interests. Okay? Do what is necessary to make yourself be a success, whether people believe in you or not. Believe in yourself enough to know that what you are doing is going to have an end result of positivity and take you to places you never thought you could go. Now, while Takeoff is gone and we pray that his family gets some peace and has some respect, everybody has some respect for the fact that his family needs some peace. You got to take something away from this in a positive light. And I know that that's difficult to do, but I want you to just hear me out. Takeoff left here a successful man. He had money in the bank. He was happy seemingly from what we saw. He was unproblematic. He didn't cause no troubles. He just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. And for that, that's the sad part. Because now he's gone. But he got to be able to experience life, a life that most people could only dream of. He got nominated for awards. He had top chart in music, and everybody understood that the music he was creating, it touched everybody in some kind of way. Everybody has heard of the Migos. Everybody has heard their music. And that's one thing he did get the experience before he left. You, on the other hand, you got to create your dream now. And if you take anything away from Takeoff, no pun intended, is that no matter how many no's and how many doors close in your face, there's always going to be somebody that's going to tell you yes. So keep on fighting. Keep going. But do it the right way. And don't let anybody deter you from your future. Because you never know. With all that being said, I'm going to go. I'm tired. I will talk to y'all tomorrow. We're going to do what we always do. We'll try to have a good time and do Q&A. We'll talk about the live events again and everything like that. But I'm going to go. Y'all have a good night.
Thank y'all so much for coming and being part of my show. Please don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe on the channel. It really helps to get my content out there for everybody to see. And I feel like even though we're a wrestling channel, we talk about a little bit of everything over here when I go live. So make sure you guys follow me on my social media as well. All of my socials are the same at Psych Design TV 2. You can find me on Twitter, and you can find me on Instagram, and you can find me on Facebook if you're a little and you like Facebook. But don't forget to follow me and subscribe, and make sure you rate my videos and get that algorithm up to push it up so I can start being a little bit more professional, so I can start making some coins. Okay? I will talk to y'all later. Love you. Bye.